Don't feel like you as an individual don't have the power to make a change, because you do. Oh, this is an election year. This is, if there's ever a time to vote, this would be the year to vote for us.
We are the change we wish to see. And so, how can you expect to change if you're not part of it and if you don't make it happen?
We need to show up and show out, but also the DNC needs to do their job and give us a reason to show up and show out.
When we take ownership over our own communities, the changes and the improvements that we need to see in our neighborhood, in our block, in our schools, in our hospitals, in our grocery stores, that is where political power comes into play. Harnessing the black vote allows us to move that political power. And I know that politics is always a dirty word, but all politics means is who has the power and who doesn't.
Every election year, you see how the black community impacts who ends up being the person in charge and calling the decisions. There's a big issue right now about voter suppression and also the census, and we need to get ahead of that, because trying to choose all these candidates isn't going to make a difference if we can't vote and if our vote doesn't count.
I think one thing that happened last time was we all felt a little bit powerless, like we didn't have any real say, and it showed because who ended up being the president. So if you actually want to have an impact, like Obama said, don't boo, vote.
Our ancestors kind of fought for us to get the right to vote. We didn't even have the right to vote not so long ago, actually. So now that we're at this place where we can to waste that vote and not do anything with it, it's really no excuse.
It doesn't matter to me that, some preacher endorses you. I want to know what you're doing about the things that really affect us. Policy that's going to really change our lives as far as education and criminal justice reform and things like that will make a real difference in our lives. It's not enough to tell me that you marched during the civil rights movement. That was over 50 years ago, child. Next.
You have to have been doing the work all your life. You can't just get into the game and think that the black community is going to embrace you. You got to be putting in the work since the beginning, and I think the candidates that often rise to the top are the ones that do that.
Pay attention to what we have to say. Watch the NAACP awards. It's really important to recognize us when it comes to our accomplishments. We often have to work twice as hard to be heard, so they just need to listen.
So it's really, really important that everyone reminds themselves that the issues and the values that we care about are the things we get to make decisions on at the actual polling place. This is not about candidates. This is not about just initiatives or ballot measures or amendments. This is about us being able to harness the world that we want to see. And right now, this world that we have does not exist. I want women to have the right to choose what they're going to do with their own body. I want free education. I want to get rid of ICE. I want the border and the wall to be evaporated. We can't get those things if y'all don't vote.
We can control our destiny. We can control our circumstances. We just have to educate ourselves and actually get out there and do something about it. Don't feel like you as an individual don't have the power to make a change, because you do. We all have to feel that way together, get out together and vote. And then together we'll make a change.